You were just getting to the mayor on some questions on immigration.
You keep calling me a billionaire. Have you seen my balance sheet?
Well, you pretty much confirmed it, Ken.
Mayor, do you know if I'm a billionaire or not? Who's got all? Is this how far we've gotten with the government?
I know you're a good guy, and I want you to build more Home Depots in L.A. How about that?
Let me tell you what. We want to take all those wonderful. Let me tell you one wonderful story about Home Depot and immigrants. Go to any Home Depot parking lot every morning, and you'll find a collection of men. Why do I love it? They want to work. So their work ethic is alive and well. They love their children. They're family-oriented. They want to go to work so they can feed their children. They're spiritual. I happen to be spiritual. I plead guilty.
So am I.
So, okay. The point is, all those characteristics sound to me like they're Republicans. So guess what? And by the way,
they're American. I don't know if they're Republican or Democrat, but they're American.
Let's agree to one thing. You're more of a capitalist than I am based on your grandparents' activities when they came here. My grandfather came here as a day laborer, and the day he died, in fact, the day he got a stroke, he still had a shovel in his hand when he had a stroke and he died. This is what's great about America.
Yeah,
all right, now I have a question.
Came in here, he was working in the fields first, but
I know, but then he moved up, like I did.
We all have it.
I was a day laborer on the expressway until I decided there was more money not being a day laborer, okay? Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Our laws state that if you get citizenship and you've concealed your past, we have the right to take away your citizenship and send you where you came from. I think that's a fair law. It simply says when you applied for citizenship, you told the truth, and everything was taken into account. What do we do? By the way, I think it's an enormously small minority, incredibly small minority, I should say. What do we do when somebody applies for citizenship and we find out they've been bad actors while they were here? Forget about what they did home. What do you do?
They can't stay. They can't stay.
We agree.
Simple as that.
Do me a favor. If I was in LA, I'd vote for you.
Else.
Okay?
Let me talk about. I agree with you. They shouldn't be able to stay. But let me share with you something else where you and I agree on, and that's on the issue. You were talking, as I understood it, I was getting the tail end of it, about the need to reduce spending at the federal level and address entitlements. And that's another place where a conservative Republican, as you describe yourself, and I agree. When I was president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, we got behind, unanimously, by the way, Simpson-Bowles as a template to fix our broken federal government, and particularly address the issue of deficits and debt. We do need to cut spending. We need to address entitlement reform, but we also need to make investments in education, in infrastructure, in R&D. We've got to invest in America again, and I think that's another area where you and I might agree.
Can I ask the mayor a question? Mayor, I want to do something. I hope you'll say yes. I want to throw a party for you when you come out of the closet and announce you're a Republican, because everything you're saying to me, you're as much of you know what we both are? We're grateful Americans who love this country, who want the best for it, and are willing to do what has to be done. But we're not going to do it.
Well, you can throw a party for the grateful American then.
Well, yeah, okay, but also a guy that's more like I am than he thinks he is.
Mayor Villaraigosa, why is it that you can agree with self-proclaimed conservative Republicans like Ken Langone, but still face so much opposition in Congress to getting immigration reform passed?
Well, I think Ken is a true conservative. I think some of the people in Congress have their head in the sand. I don't know if they're conservative or liberal. They're unwilling to compromise. They're devoted, if you will, to ideology and not practicality. And like your great mayor in New York, Mayor Bloomberg,
wonderful.
Most of the mayors are much more practical, much more willing to compromise, understand that you have to balance. And I think that's the difference between mayors who actually, like Ken, have to sign the check on the front, not just the back.